agree, and of course it fits into the hostile environment that many in the government benches have prosecuted over the course of the last few years. We have an expression in Scotland, we're all Jock Tamson's bairns. Yeah. You know, Mr Speaker, if I look at our history over the course of the last 100 years, our population in Scotland has barely grown. We've gone from 4.8 to 5.5 million people. We face a ticking time bomb, which is an ageing population. The last thing we need is to be cut off from that supply of labour for people that want to come and contribute to sustainable economic growth in Scotland. How are we to afford to be able to invest in our public services if we cannot generate economic growth? Because that's what leaving Europe is going to do to us. It's going to restrain our ability to deliver growth, our ability to make sure that we can look after the vulnerable in our society. Mr Speaker, this is the defining moment in the Brexit process, defining moments for the future of relationships. Members of Parliament must recognise their responsibility, and for many, I know that this demands making difficult decisions. I would say to each and every Member of Parliament, the primary responsibility that you have is not to party. The primary responsibility that you have is to your constituents. Think about the risks that are taking place as a consequence of this deal. It is the height of irresponsibility for the government to suggest that this is a binary choice. Mr Speaker, in the SNP's amendment that we have laid today, we have given the opportunity for the House to support that we extend Article 50. Extend Article 50 and give the people of the United Kingdom the choice to make that determination. On the basis of the facts, on the basis of the knowledge as to what Brexit is going to do, it is only right and proper, in a democratic principle, that we allow the people of the United Kingdom to make that choice. And I appeal to members across the House. Now, we have in the SNP many friends across this place and many friends on the benches to my right. I'm appealing to the Labour Party. For goodness sake, get off the fence. Get off the fence. Because the young people that voted for Labour in England in 2017 will never forgive the Leader of the Opposition and his colleagues unless they recognise that this is the opportunity to unite this House, to vote down the government's deal, support a people's vote, allow the people to have their say on what they want. Will you do it? I can see the Honourable Chuntering, if he wishes to intervene and accept his responsibilities for once. Well, you can blow a kiss, but what you're doing is you're blowing a raspberry to the people of the United Kingdom. That's the reality, and it really is about time. If you're serious about politics, if you're serious about responsibility, then grow up. Grow up and accept responsibility, and don't dodge this. Don't dodge this. You know, it's little wonder that when we look at Scotland, that the people of Scotland have got a choice. And the Scottish National Party have been in government in Scotland since 2007. Well, I can hear people saying too long. But the fact of the matter is that we've won 3 elections on the trot to the Scottish Parliament, and we've won the last 2 elections to Westminster. And the party that's sitting in 3rd place in Scotland is the Labour Party. And the reason that the Labour Party are sitting in 3rd place in Scotland is because they're out of touch and out of step with the people of Scotland. I will happily do it.
I was absolutely. It comes as no surprise that when challenged by the Leader of the SNP, nobody got up to defend the position of the Labour Party. Nobody. And what that tells us is that, does my honourable friend not agree with me? There is no such thing as a jobs-first Brexit. It's a myth.
I'm grateful for my honourable friend for that intervention, because he's absolutely right. And that's why I'm appealing to every member in this House to think about the people. Think about the people that have already lost their jobs. Think about the 1,000 people in the European Medicines Agency. Think about the 1,000 people in the European Banking Authority. Think about those at Jaguar Land Rover, and the workers at Jaguar Land Rover know that the Labour Party today are not going to lift a finger to protect their economic interests. That's the reality. A party that was once of the people that is just sitting back and failing to accept the responsibilities. Well, thank goodness, Mr Speaker, in Scotland that we have an alternative, and the people of Scotland have watched everything which has gone on over the course of the last 2.5 years. Taking back control, they say. Well, my goodness, they've taken back control from the Parliament of Scotland. When this House pushed through the Withdrawal Act, what happened was, with responsibility over fisheries, over agriculture, over the environment, which were down in the Scotland Act when the Parliament was established, as matters which have devolved, supposed to be protected by the Sewell Convention. But of course, the government said, well, these are not normal times, and they grabbed powers, not so much against the Scottish Government and the Scottish Parliament, but grabbed powers against the people of Scotland that had voted for it in a referendum in 1997. That's the reality of the Conservatives that have always been hostile to devolution. Now, of course, we're told, well, the people voted in 2016 and we should accept it. But, of course, the people of Scotland were told in our referendum in 2014, if we stayed in the United Kingdom, our rights within the EU would be respected. The fact that the people of Scotland voted by 62% to stay in the European Union is ignored by this government. The fact that the Scottish Parliament has said that we wish to stay as a very minimum in the single market and the customs union has been ignored by this government. Contempt for the institutions in Scotland, contempt for the cross-party unity that existed on these matters in Scotland. Mr Speaker, the time is coming where the people of Scotland are going to have to reflect on how we are being treated, on how we are being ignored. The Scottish Parliament has a mandate for an independence referendum. And if and when the First Minister and the Scottish Government chooses to enforce that mandate, this House must respect the wishes of the Scottish people. I hope tonight that this House votes down the government's deal. I hope this House has the confidence to extend Article 50, to give the responsibility back to the people. But if this House is determined to push ahead with Brexit, the day when the people of Scotland will have to determine their own future, do we wish to be trailed to a United Kingdom that's going to damage our economic interests, or will we accept our responsibilities as a historic, independent European nation? Mr Speaker, that day is coming, and it's coming soon.